to a frenzy after Moto 3 and Moto 2. Quartararo and Morbidelli. End of 2018 for Yamaha. Time moves on, doesn't it, folks? Petrucci, free practice. Nakagami on Cal Crutchlow's old bike. That works round here. He is looking very, very good on that HRC development bike. Bradley Smith got work to do, took a massive beating in free practice earlier on in the weekend. But from that pole position, the MotoGP of Spain is a... You've got to watch out for the 93 because through comes Marc Marquez. He got that perfect down into turn one. Dobby gets lifted twice. Dobby goes backwards. Dobby has been put back to fifth place by the Taro. They're chasing down Marc Marquez in turn three already. We're already halfway around this. That's a disaster for him.
Looked like Rossi got a good start.
From where he had to start, he went into Q1 and he didn't get in the top two to go through to Q. Marquez would have been a bit early for that, but the old it looked good. That
wasn't slow.
No, it wasn't slow. Like last year, he was almost invisible when he rode for the Mark VDS MotoGP team on the Honda.
His pace in FP4, Keith, was Marquez, same sort of lap times on race tyres.
And he was having a good look at, got a lot of fuel load on. Maverick Vinales gets under Quartararo. No, he doesn't. Gets his line at the end of the first lap at 25. Marc Marquez goes over the line. Under the spot is 6th. Petrucci is 7th. Crutchlow is only 8th at the moment with old teammate. He's had a horrible weekend so far. Jack Miller as well. There he is, forcing his way up the inside.
Not been working for Jack. We've seen him at the start of this year. He's looked like a different, cooler customer on that. But he's turned up here and it looks like he's on one of his old bikes. It just is not working for these.
Squeaking away at the front at the moment. Marquez then, that opening lap was a 45. How cool this Frenchman can be at 20 years old. A lot of pressure on him as well.
Was there a gap?
Yes, there was, because he made it. He made one.
There was a...
Oh, dear me. I'm quite happy. Looking really hard at him at the moment, so Franco Moore will get more by every single lap that he passes around here in Jerez. We come to the end pace as well. What a team money, but the Sepang International Circuit that's running the team as well. That's sure. Whoa, they ran it a bit hot there. The Ducati ran out wide, so he's now got Rins all over him. That's Rins we're looking back at, the 42. Fighting hard.
Down in 9th on the grid, already up to 23 laps to go. We need to start looking.
Rins look after them pretty well, and that for me would be the biggest problem that Marquez
has done this weekend though, Keith. From FP1 he put a hard 9 laps on the soft. He's done race distance, and actually he knows,
in that 5th place at the moment. We're looking back honourable at this moment in time. Look forward to him now, a mile long, so the Ducati really can't use Morbidelli. Has Rins got him? Not quite.
Keith to pass, because you see how much the Suzuki lost.
Turn 2 drops downhill. It's a bit flat here. Your track piece was really interesting when you said that he might have been a bit slack into there, so he tried a bit harder. What did he do? Ready. So
it just sucks you in, doesn't it, Keith? It's that downhill approach to it. It's flat.
So at the moment, oh, scary.
15th place. In free practice 1, was he 2nd fastest? Yes, he was. They all said he's definitely. He looks like he's going to be on for a.
He's tough. He comes back from injury.
Tough. I'm not saying he's not tough,
but the trouble is, it's that spin.
It was actually going off with his, let's say, the way he made the bike a lot shorter, a little bit more nervous.
Though he's had enough pace this week for Marquez to have followed him a few teammates to see where he may have an advantage. Marquez at the moment, then look at the 2 in there, and he is the man that is in Franco Raro. Then it is Vinales on the 4th, a complete outright new lap record. We've got a complete outright
0.3, Keith. Thought they'd be nudging the 37s. Don't get me.
And I still don't know whether the tyre distance yet. We're going to see what it's more long runs on the hard tyres than anyone else. They're not used. One of them, it hasn't been used at all. The hard rear that you might have expected them to try out at some stage. So they've
placed. That wasn't a 1-lap wonder, was it, from the Petronas boys?
No, it wasn't.
Ducati can squeeze back past him on the short start and finish straight.
Almost certainly.
And that's frustrating. Good on the brakes and
fractionally naughty actually. Dobby took up all the space on the braking area there, as it was at that particular point. So then we're on board with Rins looking at Andrea Dovizioso into turn 6. The Danny Pedrosa corner just a bit too hot there.
Be interesting. This is his 4th ever MotoGP race. He's just turned 20. Experience comes in, and that's
Rins has certainly dealt with Dovizioso. This is what we're going to see in a second. That's getting the power on as quick as you can on the Suzuki to give yourself the place.
It was, and you
corner speed round the outside.
You can guarantee when Rins went past. Exactly.
So
it was better to go around the outside.
Petrucci on here during the course of free practice and qualifying. Okay, so hopefully he will finish the race
in 11th place. They're all lapping very similar lap times, all within about
43 of Jack Miller to deal with.
37. And then your leader Marc Marquez.
Rins is coming.
And
Well, he's clever, isn't he?
Yeah, he's trying to save his tyres.
Exactly that, I would think. He's very good. That record by Jorge Lorenzo, 38.7. So we're here. Keep taking the notes, Suzuki boys. It's in fact, Alex Rins, if you look at the Suzuki top, where the track wasn't in as good an order, perhaps, but for Vinales, really Texas was the first
out and out, proper, dry, fair in the MotoGP era.
So
gets a bit tight there, Keith.
It does. Well, yeah. Up under the spaceship, and you were right what you said down on the grid. First time they get a chance to go up here. No one's practiced first gear, second gear, and then you're on the brakes into turn one. It's really tricky. Here's Cal. Come on, Cal. Cal Crutchlow.
It's about him learning, and if there's a chance of a podium, which currently the whole world is patting you on your back, just to find that
top five says it all. 0.6 then back to Morbidelli. Even in the time it took them to put that marker on his board.
That's right, and on that lap, Marquez set his fastest lap.
His pace a bit.
Exactly what I was
Alex Rins has come, and he did it at Texas, didn't he? So
he's too
good though. It's incremental, isn't it? It's a tiny little bit. It's going to be a question of who's behind its neck and spin it like he might do. Otherwise, they have nothing left at the end of it. Quartararo, Vinales is right there, but this is the man we were talking about.
Yeah. And that's the difference with MotoGP now, isn't it? We've said it before.
Well, we've done what, 9 laps, and there's only...
Morbidelli's lost a bit of rhythm now, hasn't he? As soon as that elastic band breaks... Oh, here comes his teammate. Oh!
That's going to be tight. The sun's been on it. It was 43, 44 when we started this. It'll put it slippery. You've got the rear wheel in the air there. Does he pull the apex? Yes, he does. I was talking about more. First, I'll feel the rear end starting to spin a little bit. Fine, that's not a problem. But
it starts to turn to chewing gum. You can't do anything. You've literally to let go of the most pushes, doesn't it? You have to let the bike do its own thing.
Marquez, well, he's going to get that, and Morbidelli's going to run wide. Yeah, and he just ran a little wide. Quartararo kept his last year there, just then. That was Danny Pedrosa corner, by the way. He was very calm and cool, you know, Fabio. It's quite easy when someone's running on to follow them, isn't it?
Junior world champion when he was 30. Well, he was junior world champion at 13 and 14. Because he was that good. They changed the rules for him, really.
They changed the rules. I mean, if you're the champion, whereas 16 is the earliest entry normally. Here's Rins. He did, mate, and that wasn't easy at all, because he was so committed. He could have got that so wrong.
On that lap, when he passed his teammate, dug in and set his fastest lap.
It was a bit early to sign him. Yes, it was early to sign him, because he was signed very early. If you remember, right from the beginning, Fabio Quartararo just looked like he'd got the style to run a MotoGP bike.
Because at the time,
it was early.
It almost looked like it was the Yamaha really well. So it was a bit of a... Quartararo did well in that one race,
but I don't think factory Yamaha were expecting a situation like with bikes, but not the factory bikes that Valentino and Maverick Vinales had. I've got to say, when he was round congratulating them, it was through gritted teeth yesterday, that's for sure.
Now, a factory team and factory riders can't do this, but there's a head angles. I've heard this, I've had a bit of inside information on it. Is made and stuff like that, but the general base setting of that bike, they're changing everything constantly from week to week. But factory in Japan, where Quartararo,
Gav or you, or it might have been Michael actually, but you know, asking him about that, but it's not quite the bike that Morbidelli's got.
No, it's a lesser spec, it's Lassie and Maverick Vinales. Don't get me wrong, and there is the latest parts will go on straight onto Valentino's and
you're better off riding what they brought. You've not got all that. You've got to ride it to a certain limit as well. You've got to find out where, and you put side of Morbidelli. So
play to Morbidelli there. Talk about Buffalo girls got rusted out in Morbidelli.
Well,
I'd expect nothing less, mind.
He was a Moto2 rider. Marc Marquez has just put the fastest lap of the race in, 1:38.1.
At half race this.
He is in 12th place. Stefan Brad, the wild card, is in front of Jorge Lorenzo on the full factory bike.
Oh,
Quartararo.
I cannot believe it, Keith.
What has happened to that, to the Petronas team? Can't believe it either.
I cannot believe that. That kid was on for
out of the Spanish Grand Prix.
It was 2 seconds behind the clear second place.
So Morbidelli was in second, the winner in Texas. He's going to surely make it another podium.
Well, 12 laps to go. Let's see what he's got.
Marquez, fastest lap of the race, a new lap record, another new lap record. Marquez is across the line. 38.2 this time, only 10th of a set, 3.7 seconds.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye on that gap. I can't see that. It's just too...
Oh, that was what you were talking about. Was it you again? I have to remember.
Yeah,
the shift.
Yeah, double shift that fast left-hander.
It's incredible. The amount of footwork you need to do that as well. At the moment, Danilo Petrucci behind him, teammate behind him, Cal Crutchlow 7th, Jack Miller 8th still. Here in 10th place, Nakagami, Alicia Spargo, Stefan Brad on the last...